So my husband and business partner, Chris, just asked me, what would I want a prospective franchise broker to know? Someone who was looking at becoming a broker with us. And it's a really hard question to answer. Part of this process, this sales process, is that you have to make yourself stand out and you have to show what your competitive differences are. And through the years, we've done so much to advance the industry. We've been really the innovators. I think even one of the heads of a competing organization came up to me at the IFA conference in February of 2017, and she told me, before you came on the scene, everybody was, happy doing what we were doing, and you really pushed the whole industry to advance, and it was good and it was needed, and we appreciate that and value the fact that you did add that competition into play, which caused us to have to do more to keep and retain our brokers. I just thought it was a nice thing for her to say, because it's also kind of brave to talk to your competitors that way and to explain that kind of point of view. It was also very honest. I think in this industry, there have been a lot of people who have been dishonest. And I remember when I first started, I loved being a franchise broker, like the work that you do where you're helping to find the right franchise and you're going through this research process with them. I mean, it's just very fulfilling because you develop this close relationship with your candidates and you start really caring about them as people and wanting the best for them and for their family. And that experience is something that I enjoyed. But what I was finding, even back then, I mean, this is 11 years ago, but even back then, I was doing a lot more for my clients than what other brokers were doing, because I just felt like I wanted to give them world-class service no matter what. And so I was finding all these resources for them and getting them set up with a whole host of professionals, which helped them to make a better decision about the franchise. And I remember franchisors emailing me all the time and just saying, like, wow, this is really different what you're doing. I wish other brokers were doing that, because we're paying them this big commission, and most of the time we get a note, a hand scribbled note on a piece of paper, sent over to us. Like, it's the equivalent of that. Like, here's my client, go ahead and call him, good luck. And back then, especially, it was really like that. So the whole reason why I created the association and went down this path with my team was that I wanted the industry to survive. I wanted it to thrive because I loved doing what I do. I loved helping people to, uncover this new life. It's just really a neat experience and gives you a lot of personal satisfaction. The commissions are pretty nice too. And that kind of reminds me of this story. One of the candidates that I'm working with right now, on the first call, he pointed out, he was like, well, I know you're paid a commission or a referral fee. What stops you from, just showing me whichever franchise has the highest commission? And when he said that, it was a really valid question, and I thanked him for it. A lot of brokers do look at the commission as the primary factor in showing certain franchises, and they are running businesses, so I can appreciate that. But at the same time, there is a component of not forcing something that doesn't fit on people that it doesn't fit for. And so one of the things that, when I reflect about that, is that I don't even look at the commission. I actually don't even pay attention to the commission at the time when I'm helping my candidates. And I tell our brokers not to look at that either, because their goal is to do the right service and a good service for the candidates. And knowing that these people, when they buy a franchise, you're being exposed to an entire network that they have. People are going to ask them how they got into that franchise. They're going to be out there marketing and promoting their business. So when people ask them, how did you get into this business? We want them to say, I used this really amazing broker who looked out for me and cared about me, cared about what was right for me. And through that, I found the franchise, and you should talk to that person too. So long story short, I think that the things that I want people to know about being a broker is that it's a professional business. It's not something for the weak of heart. It is for people who are able to look outside of themselves, who are able to take the time to serve and commit to others' success. I think when you have those kinds of intentions for people, it comes through, and your success happens automatically because you're doing what's right for them. And so if you're looking at or thinking about becoming a broker, just remember that the money is it's good. The money is good. It's part of the equation, but the best brokers are the ones who are able to look beyond that. They're able to look at the person not as dollar signs, but as an individual who's really needing help. They are needing advice on moving into the next chapter of their life, and they're looking for a guide so that they can be a hero in their own life. And the broker, their role is to be that guide. So I leave you with that. If you found this informational or helpful, please like, share, and subscribe below.